Welcome to the Been There Doing That podcast. I'm Robert Scrivener.
And I'm Gayla Scrivener.
We left the 9-to-5 grind, downsized, and our goal is to have freedom to live and to work from just about anywhere. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome.
It's great to
See ya.
It is.
It's great to see you on the radio.
Oh my goodness.
On the radio.
We
On the
had
podcasts.
Yes, out in the radio waves, I guess.
Airwaves. Internet vibes.
We had quite the adventure last episode.
Yeah.
Getting off of Buckeye Reservoir.
Easy for you to say.
I know.
Hey, this road goes through.
I guess it did in the
It really
summertime.
did. Just not when we went through it.
Not when we went through it. It was
Treacherous.
And thank goodness you did not have to use the wrench.
The wrench. Or the winch.
The winch. There was nothing to winch to at the time.
No.
And we got out of there. And we sat by the lake or the reservoir and got our, the helio. We filled up the helio.
Yeah.
And we washed the Jeep. We washed our
Cleaned it
shoes.
off.
We washed all that mucky gunk off, that muddy mess, as best as we could with that little helio of ours. And we went the more traveled route down the mountain. So we went
path with the least amount of green growing in the middle of it.
Yeah. And it was good. It didn't take us nearly as long to get out of our situation.
Made it down to Paradox in no time flat.
Paradox?
Yeah.
Really?
That was where we went.
I thought it was Naturalrita.
Then Naturalrita after that.
What was Paradox?
Paradox. That's where I almost made a wrong turn.
Oh.
I got out and I
'Cause
just
you
wanted
had
to do
paradox.
a video or take pictures of the landscape, and I hit the record button on the video and said, oops. I meant to do picture taking instead of video taking.
Oh, yeah. It was
that
a
was
good
Paradox.
view. It was a great view. And we went to, the whole reason for our route was that we were going to stay at free camping there at the reservoir and then go to Naturalrita because there was this really cool natural museum, kind of a mountain man museum that you wanted to go to.
Yeah.
So where was it? I don't know. So we went to the visitor center.
Whatever visitors, not the city visitor center. It's just a visitor center.
I would think it's the city's visitor
It
center.
could be.
There's the communities, and it was a small town. Naturalrita is a very small town.
Yeah.
And
That's
hopped
what
in
I'm
there.
calling it. It may be pronounced differently.
It's like natural and then Rita. So
Yeah.
I think it's Naturalrita.
Naturalrita.
I think so. We went in there. We were the only people in there, and it was a nice
Air
visitor.
conditioned.
Yeah, it was nice.
Conditioned air.
And the lady that was there was very helpful and friendly, and we went ahead and asked her, where is this neat museum? And she kind of looked at us like, I don't know what you speak of. I've been here for many, many years, and there's nothing like that here. You must be thinking of...
I think she was saying Gunnison.
Yeah, I think she...
One of them G ones.
A big town. And then I think she listed several places, actually. And... Robert, you were the one that researched it, and you were like, I just don't think so.
I couldn't remember the name of the place.
And see, we couldn't look it up because...
Didn't remember the name of the place.
We didn't have any internet either.
That too.
And so I was like, oh, man, you were kind of disappointed. I mean, a lot disappointed, actually. And...
a lot. Yeah, I was disappointed.
You were.
Oh, man.
You were really looking forward to it. You had this vision in your
If I really
mind.
was, I would have remembered the name of it. I guess I was half-heartedly
Half-heartedly, I guess.
Yeah.
But at the time, after our adventure and everything, we were getting hungry.
I was almost hangry.
So we went across the street to the grocery store.
Groceries, it said. That was the name of the place, Groceries.
Well, that's a perfect name for a grocery store.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
I was getting hangry.
And so we got some salad.
Feed me now.
Yeah, I think we got emergency M&Ms too.
A whole bag of them.
A big bag of them. But we got our groceries, ate salad in the parking lot, went to get fuel, and lo and behold, we had internet from the neighbor.
Library.
The library was right next to the gas station. So I hopped on there, and I think I found what we were looking for.
Hey, this is it. Is this it?
Is this it? I don't remember what my search was.
I don't know either.
But it was in this little town called Delta.
How far is that? Let's go.
It was about an hour and a half.
Well, they close at 5. Here it is, like 2:30 in the afternoon.
2:30 or something like that, and we're like,
holy cow, that's an hour and 50 minutes away.
Well, we went toward Delta because we thought, heck, I mean, it was getting toward. This was the only day that they were open. They were not going to be open the next day.
Yeah.
Because it was falling onto a weekend, I believe.
It was Saturday, and the next day would have been Sunday.
And we weren't going to wait around.
No.
Or anything. So we made our way to Delta, but if I remember correctly, we did not hightail it there. We stopped because the drive from Naturalrita to Delta had some vistas, and we just had to stop and look at them.
Buena Vistas.
Yes.
Buena Vistas.
It was wonderful. And
crossed a mountain range a little bit.
Yeah. But while we were at the gas station and we were locked into internet, I had used their internet so that our GPS could be locked in on the path.
Where we needed to be.
So, because I knew we wouldn't have anything. Once it's locked in, it's fine, but just don't leave and try to find other things. Don't leave the screen. So we use my phone for mapping and your phone for tracking.
Yeah.
Because we use Gaia GPS to record where we go, but then when I use Google Maps and the regular map in my lap for where we're gonna go.
Since you're the navigator.
Yeah, kinda.
You got me this far.
I guess so.
We made it out of that last debacle.
A debacle? It was an adventure.
Well,
you can look back on it now and
a laugh
and say, "Hey, that wasn't so bad."
Well, at the time,
maybe not enough time has passed.
Yeah,
maybe not enough time.
Still a little
You're
tender about it.
Well, we got to Delta, and what was the place that we went to?
It's called Fort Uncompahgre.
And it's
an old Spanish trail fort replica.
Yeah.
It's an interpretive center.
Well, what were you expecting?
I don't know, but it was not what I was expecting.
Well, we got there. You can tour it, and I think it's like $4 for the tour, which isn't bad or anything. But we got there about an hour before they were going to close. Wasn't it about an hour and a half?
Yeah, it's like an hour and left in it.
And we went into. I was surprised that it seemed to be smack dab in the middle of town. In the middle of town. And we went into the visitor center, and the lady said, "Hey, today's your lucky day."
And I said, "Why is that?"
And
she said, "Well, you get to tour for free."
I don't know why she was giving away the tours.
Free tours.
Free tours.
I think it was Memorial Weekend.
It was getting close to there, yeah. And I don't know if it's just the end of the day and she just wanted to, put us through or whatever.
Yeah.
But
who knows?
You couldn't really see much of the fort until you went through the visitor center, but she just said, "Hey, come on, get over here and
take a tour.
Here you go, and here's the little pamphlet and everything."
I was trying to look at what visitor center had, but she was rushing me out the door.
She did rush us out the door, and then she said, "Oh, well, the turkey out there, he's friendly, so don't worry about him."
I was thinking, somebody.
Yeah, somebody. But it was an actual
the old turkey. It was a real live turkey.
And he was pretty.
Yeah.
He had his feathers out. Ruffled up and kind of following us around. We didn't have any snacks for him.
No.
I don't know what turkeys snack on, except bugs.
Well, that's good. Keeps them at bay.
What did we find? It's a replica of a fort.
Yeah. Oh, something to do with Antoine or Antonio Rubidoux.
Not Antonio Banderas.
No, different guy.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I was expecting something a little bigger.
Yeah.
And laid out a little different from what I seen on the internet, which was Facebook.
Yeah.
But it will evidently what they were putting on there was not the fort. There's pictures of other things that had happened at different places.
So was on Facebook, was it like a big event or something?
Yeah.
Huh. Well, from what I gather is that this fort was owned by a different organization. Like, was it a Mountain Man Association or something?
I believe so.
And then it was sold. I don't quite understand the ownership of it, but they have a lot of school tours. And they fly the Mexican flag.
Mm-hmm.
And the original fort is like 4 miles away on the river. And this is a complete replica. And they don't have as many Mountain Men events or people there as much as they used to. But I think that it was probably, needed to go under new management so that it could stay running, I guess. I don't know.
It's something like that.
Probably. I do not know. But I had no expectations, and I was quite impressed.
How would you know you was on the phone the whole time?
Well, I know I was on a business call, but I was quite impressed because all these cabins, they were built like the old trapper cabins in the Mountain Man era. Wasn't it in the Mountain Man era?
Yeah.
And they had all these cabins stocked of how it used to be, complete with furs and goods, and there was living quarters. There were like the traders' quarters, the furrier, and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
It
was like the Walmart Supercenter back in the day.
Yeah, a little community.
Yeah.
And the turkey was just hanging around. I think. Well, I said that the lady that we spoke with that was in charge of the visitor center, she said that they have a lot of school tours and summer camps that come through there. And she had mentioned, and she said, we make sure to let everybody know that we fly the Mexican flag instead of the Colorado flag because during the time of this fort, that area was Mexico.
Yes, it was.
So that's pretty cool.
It was a trading post, I found out.
Okay.
In the late 1820s, known as Ruby Doo Bottoms.
Huh.
Yep.
Well, I think it was pretty cool. On top of the little cabins, they had sod and it was growing, grass for insulation. Oh, what other? You said you liked the hinges.
The hinges for the doors and the insulation to keep the wind and stuff out was a strip of fur that was right along the door frame.
And the hinges, were they metal or?
They were metal on most of them.
On most of them.
That I could see.
And I don't know if they have interpretive, reenactment type stuff. It kind of looks
According
like
to their website, they have some every once in a while.
Yeah. Well, I highly recommend it. It was pretty cool. And
it was $5 for adults, $4 for seniors. That's not the school kids, seniors. $3 for students, 18 down to 12, and free, 12 and under.
Family groups.
$15.
Well, I think it's quite the value. Oh, we were in there, and their little store was pretty cool. She was trying to get rid of a whole bunch of postcards.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, take the postcards. These were inherited, and we've got millions of them. They're free.
Free.
I said, okay.
Hard to beat free.
And then you bought something for your leather stuff. What was
that? I know this question. Brass cones.
Brass cones?
Yeah, not tin cones, but brass cones.
They were really reasonable.
7 cents a piece.
You bought the whole lot.
17 of them, I think.
Yeah. I bought some needles, hoping to use on the beading projects that I have.
Yeah.
I was very pleased, and it was smaller than I think that I imagined, but I didn't really have much to expect. So.
And they're only open Monday through Saturday, 8 to 5.
Uh-huh.
And we were there on a Saturday at 4 p.m.
At 4 p.m. And we kind of rushed through. But when there was nothing else there, we were the only ones, really.
Yeah.
And
On Memorial Weekend.
Yeah. It was great, though. Well, we left there. Oh, we were talking with her to see kind of where should we stay. And she gave us some suggestions. And one of those was just outside of Delta.
10 miles or something like it.
Yeah, it sounded...
Dominguez.
It sounded pretty cool.
Dominguez-Escalante. You got to move your hands like this whenever you talk. I don't know. Just looks good.
I guess so.
I like the way it sounded, so we went.
And that was just outside of Delta. We got there, and it seemed like we were driving forever and ever.
Yeah.
And ever.
We were. But it was neat.
I don't know. It was a holiday weekend, and we were trying... Well, at first, we got to like a bridge, and it looked like we shouldn't trespass.
Yeah. It was weird. I didn't understand the signs, I guess, going across it.
Yeah. And then we kind of looked at the map and then looked at...
Watched another car go by and said,
I think that we're not supposed to go on that driveway just past
yeah.
the
Don't turn
bridge.
right, turn left.
Because there were a lot of signs of private property, all this open range cattle. And I don't remember what the sign said exactly, but it kind of made you, it's like, are we trespassing or are we not?
Yeah.
And it's like, no, we're not going to shoot your cows, but maybe they have a problem with that. I don't know.
They might.
And maybe there is a problem with cattle rustling. I mean, it's a thing, I'm sure. But, so we kept driving and driving and driving.
And driving. Free camping, but, it was Memorial Weekend.
Oh, and... according to the map, there was, because we got the map from the visitor center.
Yeah.
And according to the map, there was a little campsite that was an official campsite. And we went up there, and there was vaulted toilets, but there was no room at the inn. Absolutely nothing. It was quite crowded. So we decided to keep driving. And then there was another area, and just a lot of people.
A lot.
A lot.
A lot of people.
And then...
we were 20 miles down a dirt road.
Yes. And I think we drove a little ways further, and then we turned around, and then we turned around again or something. There was this one road that I remember there were some rocks balancing. I was like...
stacked on top of each other.
Yeah. I thought, I wonder what's down that road. I wonder if we should go down that road. And we passed it, and then we thought, let's go back. Let's look at it.
Let's go look. Mm-hmm. Take a look-see.
And before we pulled into it, there were some walkers, an older couple.
Walkers.
Yeah.
They didn't have walkers.
No. They didn't.
They were the walkers.
They were walking down the road. You could tell they were just kind of moseying and getting exercise. They were. I'm not going to say elderly. Because they were just
we'll
older.
Be that someday if we straighten up.
Elderly or just older, fit people?
That's it. That's the one I was looking for.
Okay. And he kind of flagged us down a little bit. And
are you looking for a place to stay?
Yeah.
I said, yeah.
We're thinking about going down this road, and he was a talker. And
yeah.
the more you started talking, because he was... I guess asking you questions and stuff.
I've never seen a Jeep like this before. I see you got Missouri license plates. Where are you from? I said, well, we're out in the Springfield area. Oh, well, she's from Springfield, and I'm from Hartville.
Hartville is
38 miles away or
little tiny town that we know of. And how come we're so far away? And they
800
were
plus miles away from
And they
home.
were just at a family reunion in Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
And everything. But he was starting to talk your ear off. And it was so cute because she was like, we need to get our steps in. Come on.
Let's go.
We need to get our steps in. She must have said that like 4 or 5 times. I think she knows her husband.
She might.
Well, we went down that road, and there were some nice campground, and there wasn't anybody there.
Yeah, it was a spot for at least 3 different camp spots.
Yeah.
I said, I'm nabbing this one.
Yeah, and we did. There was one that was semi-nice across from where we actually decided to land. But there was some broken glass there, and we didn't want to be over there. And so we set up camp, and, there's not a lot of trees. It's more
red rock, desert,
red rock,
sagebrush type things. Not much cactus, though.
No.
Couple, but not the big ones.
I felt like we were remote, even though kind of sometimes in the distance we could hear people. And the road, we weren't that far off the road, but far enough that, I felt kind of secluded.
Yes.
Are you sleepy?
No.
We've had a lot of running around. I don't blame you for being sleepy.
Yeah.
So, but I like that camp spot.
Dominguez-Escalante.
We stayed there for like 2 days, 3 days.
2 nights.
2 nights. And we
no internet.
No internet, but,
I did a time
there's
lapse that one night.
There was beautiful. Was that the night of the time lapse where it was just
Milky Way?
You saw the Milky Way, and we ran out of battery.
Yeah, that was from like 10:30 and at night till 1:15 or so in the morning.
Yeah, what we did was set up the camera on the tripod, and
had my intervalometer.
What is that?
Where it takes a picture every so often.
Oh, okay.
I don't have to stand there and poke it.
Oh, yeah, you automatically set something up on the camera.
Yep, take a picture every 5 seconds, I think it was, for 20 seconds at a time.
I was so tired. And so we went up to bed and left the camera out there, and we had to set the alarm because you calculated how long it would take.
Yep.
And we set the alarm. We were conked out. Set the alarm for like, what, 1:30?
1:15-ish.
You went down, and as you went down there, I think you were going to have it go a little longer, but then you were like, oh, man.
The battery just died.
The battery died.
It's like, oh.
That is a gorgeous time lapse, and if we had more battery juice for it to go to like 3 o'clock in the morning, it would have been really wonderful.
Forget that. Just go until sunrise.
Exactly. But that was cool. We're going to have to do that again. We're going to have to
Find
figure
a remote spot.
We're going to have to figure out more power to the camera.
More power to the camera.
You know what else?
What?
It was not... The bathroom facilities were not very remote. The trees were not very private. No.
They are not.
And I was like, I think that there's walkers up around the mountain, and you have to look everywhere to try to find some privacy.
Yeah.
But I came up, we had our walkie-talkies, and I walked up the road. I said, I need some privacy, and you tell me if somebody's coming up the road.
Okay.
But the first time, I didn't. You just said that you would just, like, whistle or something.
Yeah.
I did not hear you, and I came out from my spot, and whoa, there was a bicyclist.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
He went by me quick.
And I was like, dang it.
Take the walkie-talkie.
He's like, oh, I'm sorry to disturb you. And I said, oh, no, just taking a walk.
Right.
Uh-huh. So the next time when you needed to take a walk, you took the walkie-talkie.
Yeah, I did.
And nobody came by unless we had business to do. Did you notice that?
True.
I know this is a clean show, but people have to know that sometimes nature calls.
It does.
And
when it does, you got to answer.
People seem to come around when nature calls. I don't understand it. But I guess, everybody has to. So You gotta. But, we had some fun times exploring. And I thought our adventures were done. Didn't you?
Guess what?
I mean, we drove all around because after that night, we wanted to go back further into that road.
See where it goes.
And so we went all around.
Of course, we didn't have internet, so we couldn't look it up.
No.
And we didn't have our Colorado map, I don't think, out with us.
We were just driving and having a good time, saw a lot of things. And then we thought, oh, it's getting kind of late. Maybe we'll go back and everything.
Set up.
And we kept smelling something. Something wasn't quite right.
Smelling the brakes. I was like,
is that
oh,
us?
we're not going downhill enough. I ain't even on the brakes. Well, out.
You got out.
And I was like, that's us.
Yeah, we weren't in town to smell anybody else.
No, nobody's around us. That was our driver's front brake caliper.
Well, we drove. We were like, well, maybe we need to go into town.
Yeah.
And but before we got there, quite a ways, I guess, before we got there.
22 miles, I believe.
And you were like, I need to pull over. Here's a flat spot, and I got to take off the tire.
Yep.
And I was like, okay. So, you've taken off the tire quite a bit off the side of the road.
Well.
Or the trail.
It happens.
And what happened? I mean, it was the caliper.
The caliper was clamped, like you were pushing on the brakes.
And something didn't
causing
look right.
friction.
Yeah.
And heating up the brakes and making it, not right.
What did you do? Did you take something off?
I took the whole caliper off, took the brake pads out, put the caliper back on, put the tire back on with no
There's
brake
no
pad.
brakes.
So don't touch the brakes.
We had to use the emergency brake.
Which only one works because I cut the other side.
Way back in
2010.
Yeah.
No, 2010 down in Alligator Alley in Florida.
Because there was some issue.
It was an issue, so I just cut that one so it wouldn't be, working too good. So I cut that one, and so we drove all the way to town.
Well, first
with the e-brake and downshifting.
Well, we didn't really have any internet. And we knew there was going to be internet by the highway, so you stopped.
And this is on a Sunday.
It was Sunday on Memorial Weekend.
Exactly.
Oh, my goodness. And it was getting dusk. It was getting late in the day.
It was 4 o'clock on a Sunday.
I guess it wasn't dusk, but it was late in the day. And so we stopped at the, there was this parking area kind of at the entrance of the Grand Escalante. Is that what it's called?
No.
What is it called?
Dominguez. Grand Staircase Escalante is what you're thinking of.
Oh, yeah. We haven't gone
Different
there.
state.
Yeah.
Different state.
But we stopped there because I had internet. And we called O'Reilly.
O'Reilly's Auto Parts.
Yes. I think we know the guy that wrote
the jingle.
Yeah.
Met him in person.
Well, we know him in person.
Yeah. I've met him in person.
I worked for his dad at the grocery store.
I wonder how many times that thing is, cha-ching.
I know.
Cha-ching.
I know. Okay.
Anyway.
We regress. But anyway.
Yeah.
The called O'Reilly and asked, okay, do you have, I don't remember what was on your list. You had a caliper. You had brake pads.
Brake rotors, brake pads, brake fluid. What else did I have?
You were saying you're just going to get it all.
Yep. The front end is getting new brakes all the way around. Everything, new brakes. New pads, rotors, caliper.
Yeah. And they said, yeah, we have that. Yes, we have that. Yes, we have that. And I said, I don't remember what the guy's name was, but I said I loved him.
It was Bob.
Oh, well. Yes, I love Bob.
I think it was Bob. Bob. We'll go talk to Bob.
And I said, okay, well, how late are you open? And they said 8 o'clock. Are you kidding me? It's Sunday.
Yeah. It's Sunday on a Memorial Weekend.
Yes. And
I said, well, pull the parts. We'll be right there.
Exactly. And we took it easy. I mean, that made you nervous to go on the highway.
Yeah, 22 miles.
It's one thing to go slow on a dirt road with no brakes and using the e-brake. It's another thing when everybody else is going 70 miles an hour on this road to get into town. And then once you got into town, the stoplights. Which way has the least amount of stoplights? And I'm like, I don't know. I just don't know. So we got there. We got there.
Went in, looked at it, said, "Hey, you do have everything."
Awesome.
And it is a holiday weekend.
And
this is not too shabby.
We pulled around to the side, and you started to work.
Taking off the tire.
Yep. I think I had a Instagram Live.
Yes, you did.
And, those types of posts get the most responses because we have a little bit of drama. And we don't have very much drama usually.
We don't get much response, evidently.
And then when, you're getting all greasy and have the tire pulled off.
And my pouty face on.
Yeah. People wonder, are you okay? Is everything okay?
Yeah, we're just fine. Just changing brakes in a parking lot.
But we were...
in a place I've never been before.
We were hoping that it wasn't going to rain. And so, you were looking at the weather and things like that. But things were running pretty smooth. Things were running pretty smooth with the tire thing.
Yeah.
Jacking it up, doing whatever you needed to do. And then what happens?
The sprinklers go off and start watering their grass.
And the breeze was just right to where you were getting wet.
I was getting wet.
It's like you were worried about rain.
Yeah.
Didn't think about the sprinklers. So.
They shouldn't come on till after dark anyway.
Oh, I know. But then you got the driver's side done.
Yeah.
And we were thinking about just leaving and not, worrying about the passenger side until we get to camp.
Let's just go ahead and do it.
But then you just went ahead and did it.
It's here.
Yeah.
So why not?
And that was not too bad. So then it was getting late and we haven't eaten like forever.
No.
We hadn't eaten because we were tootling around, and then we smelled the brakes, and then you took off the tire, and then we went to O'Reilly's, and then you took off the tires again. So it was all day we hadn't eaten. And so
that was our diet.
We were doing okay. It wasn't that we were hangry or anything, but it was fast food time. We just decided, let's just do that. It's getting dark, and we're going to have to find our place.
Went to Dairy Queen.
Yes.
I don't recommend that.
Highly disappointed.
Very much.
I don't think we'll ever go to Dairy Queen again. At least not that one ever again.
We had a good, positive experience at a one in Oklahoma, Panhandle.
Yes.
They were nice.
Food
was quick, tasty. But this one, it sucked. I'm
just
going to say
it.
It sucked.
Just say it. It was not the I don't know. The food wasn't good, but the service was
terrible.
And there are flies inside.
Everywhere.
It was like I'd rather it's like we should just eat outside. But by the time we ordered, it just took forever. I mean, we should have gone to a sit-down restaurant. It would have been faster.
Oh, yeah.
They probably wouldn't have welcomed us because of our condition of our, but oh well.
We made it through it.
We did. And we're getting pretty weary, but we needed some supplies from the grocery store, and there was a grocery store really close to Dairy Queen. Yes.
City Market.
And so you stayed in the Jeep with Oscar.
Yeah, I called my dad and let him know where we were because I haven't checked in several days.
And so I went in to get our supplies, and I was so frustrated.
You were.
The checkout, because of the time of day, they decided that they closed all the real checkouts, and you had to do a self-checkout.
No way around it.
No way around it. And I hate self-checkouts. I just hate them. I mean, I think that it's a wonderful thing to have a checker to help you get your stuff through. And I think it's a wonderful service.
Mm-hmm.
And this particular machine you had to put through, and then you had to make sure to set it in. Well, I had, I think, several gallons of water, and it wouldn't fit in that area.
Uh-huh.
But so I just scanned it, and I was putting it in the cart on the other side. And then it just said, it had this annoying computer voice that said, put your item in the bagging area, and it would not scan the next thing. Until
you did that.
And I was so frustrated. It's like, what do you want from me? Just leave me alone. I was about ready to
just leave it and walk out.
Just walk out, but I didn't. And then by the time I got to you, you were talking to your dad.
I could tell you weren't happy.
Tears were almost coming to my eyes, and I was just so angry. I was just like, we have got to get out of here. And it was dark by that time. It was dark.
Yeah.
And we drove back to our campsite, which was...
we got set up and everything, it was after 10:30 p.m.
Yeah. That was like the latest that we've done.
Yeah.
And
that was the only time I used the headlights on the Jeep the whole trip.
We were exhausted. And we set up at, in the middle of the night, and oh, goodness.
Yeah.
But I was pleased that nobody else had snagged that.
Our previous camp spot.
Yeah, because we were concerned. We had no idea that. And we were hoping, since it was a Sunday of, Memorial Weekend, that people, it would
be leaving
because, just
take a day of rest on Monday.
Yeah, but.
No, there was a lot of them there still, but they didn't get our spot. No,
they didn't. I think somebody went in a little further down the road from us.
Yeah.
The little cubby. But my goodness, we've had a lot of adventures.
Yeah. They're not over with.
Oh, my.
There's more coming.
Oh, let's save that for the next time.
Are you sure?
I think so.
Keep them hanging?
Keep them hanging. Goodness. But
yeah.
We thought that our adventures were over, but I was pleased. I am super pleased about how much you know about the Jeep.
Well, I've had it for 15, 16 years.
Yeah.
Kind of know its quirks.
Yeah. A very good lesson is that you really do need to pay attention to your vehicle. If something feels a little off, just
probably
get out and,
just make sure.
And get it taken care of. So, oh, goodness. I'm glad that we got through that.
We're here to talk about it.
We are. Well, we are glad you joined us for our adventure around Delta.
Yep, from Buckeye to Delta.
Oh my goodness, no brakes. Or too many brakes.
But we did it.
You rip out the brakes so that we can get to town.
It's like getting pulled over for not having enough lights on your vehicle, or wait a minute, getting pulled over for too many lights on your vehicle. I've done both.
You have.
Yeah.
You have been pulled over.
Sir. Yeah.
You were almost home when you were pulled over in the Jeep for having too many lights.
Yeah.
And you were looking out for deer.
I was. And I have a lot of lights on the front of.
And there happened to be our small town
they were
police officers having a little committee meeting. Oh, county.
Sheriff.
The county sheriff. Yeah. They're having a little committee meeting right there at
come around the corner at 1 o'clock in the morning.
And they pulled you over really close to home. And what did they say? It was hilarious.
We'll leave them wondering about that. I said, no, I'm just watching out for deer.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you got off because that was before we had switched license plates to Missouri, and we had our Florida plates. Yeah. So it's been several years ago.
Yep.
It was funny, though. All right. Where can people follow us, Robert?
They can follow us on the interwebs.
Interwebs. What's that address?
Oh, been there.
That's all, folks.
BeenThereDoingThat.com.
BeenThereDoingThat.com. And you can find us on YouTube.
Been there doing that.
And Instagram.
Been there doing that.
Excellent. And, you need to subscribe to YouTube because the videos that kind of correspond with
these... There will be a video.
Yeah. They don't come out all at the same time.
But they're pretty close.
Yeah. And we're getting on a good schedule of getting these videos out.
Mm-hmm.
So some of them you might like because they're about travel. Some of them are about mountain men stuff. Some of them are about ham radio stuff. And some of them are just some of them.
Yeah.
just random stuff.
It's what we do. We have fun doing it.
Yes. Well, thanks for joining us. And until next time.
We're looking out.